How's it going, Twitch? My name is Skull, and on behalf of EastAsiaSoft, welcome to today's stream. Today, I am continuing my playthrough of If My Heart Had Wings. Hard to believe that we are into day 14. Wow, it's hard to believe that I've been playing this for that long. I really don't know how close we are to the end. I wouldn't doubt at this point that we will be continuing to play through the end of the year in this game. Quite the thought, huh? So, as usual, the game is still available for you to order if you want a physical copy. Regular editions are sold out, but there are a few limited editions left over at PlayAsia. Also, if you want to get caught up on where we are in the story, head over to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/EastAsiaSoft and catch up on all the other streams that I've done. So, let's go ahead and load right where we were. Which save file was that? Hang on here. This one, right? Yeah. So Agehead just said, you look kind of happy about it.
そんなことないわよ。別に普通だもん。宮田か。悪い子じゃないのは確かね。ちょっと気が利かないとこあるけど、真面目だよ。優しい？うん、多分。そうなんだ。てっきり速攻で断ると思ってたんだけど。
Oh yeah, I forgot. At the end of the last episode, a boy had just told Kotari that he had a crush on her. I forgot about that. Poor girl.
だって相手のこともよくわかんないし、せっかくもらったものだから。
Is the volume good? I think I could probably bump it up a little. There we go.
小鳥はさ、今まで男の子とお付き合いしたことあるの？ない。アゲハは？秘密。じゃあ人には言わせといて。なんか意外だな。小鳥可愛いから彼氏くらいいたのかと思ってた。一応割とモテてたのよ、昔は。さっきも言ったと思うけど。じゃあなんで付き合わなかったの？私そういうのにあんまり興味なかったから。それにほっといても寄ってくるもんだから。男なんてちょろい、彼氏なんて欲しい時にいつでもすぐ作れるって。その頃会ってたら友達には慣れてなかったかもね。私若気の至りだったわ。あの頃の私はまだ子供だったのよ。で今は世の中そんなに甘くないと悟ったと。まあそうなんだけど。でもまあいいわ。せっかくなんだし真剣に考えてみなさいな。
She has an admirer.
送ってくれてありがとう。いいってことよ。面白い話も聞けたしね。さっきの話は全部内緒だからね。分かってるって。特に葵にはでしょ。当たり前よ。私が男の子とお付き合いしたことないなんて知ったらあいつ絶対笑うもん。
Poor Kotari and her insecurities.
さあそれはどうかな。もうじゃあね。ただいま。わわ。ただいまハット。ふふ。見てハット。じゃーん、ラブレターもらっちゃった。わ。すごいでしょ。ってほら食べる
Not
な。
food, not food.
もうちょっと破れちゃったじゃない。わっか。こんな私にラブレターだって。どうしようこれ。
Very good question. After Kotari went home, I got on a computer to look some things up online. If I remember correctly, 1 euro is about 110 yen right now, so... Whoa! This is expensive. Even if I use all of my savings, this is pretty steep. But if I have this...
何見てんの？エッチなサイト？
What? Okay, I had snuck up on me. I quickly tried to hide what it was on the screen, but it was too late. She was looking at the display from over my shoulder.
海外のグライダーのサイト？
Yeah, just taking a look.
あ、これってもしかして。
A cockpit for people with disabilities. I was looking at a German glider manufacturer's website. I had discovered by chance while browsing glider sites that there are cockpits designed for people with disabilities. I like where this is going. I had cobbled together the limited information I could find and had finally found this site. But it's made in Germany.
うわ、読めねえ。つーか高っ。ちょっと手が出ない値段だね。
On top of that, it doesn't seem like you can just order it either. I had read a blog by a Japanese person who had actually bought it. Apparently, there was a lot of paperwork needed to import it.
これがうちらのグライダーに取り付け可能かどうかもわかんないしね。
After all, our glider is pretty unique in its design.
けどこれがあったら。
Yeah, we could let Kotari fly too. I said that with a sigh, and Agea grinned. What are you smiling about? You know as well as I do that Kotari wants to fly, right?
そうだっけ？
Don't play dumb! Kotari had first mentioned it around the time Amane had said that we didn't have enough pilots. After that, she hadn't said anything else about it, not even once. But it was obvious when you looked at her. Has she already gone home?
うん、無事送り届けてきたよ。
I see. How was she? When I asked, Agea made a slightly surprised face. It seemed she had gotten a letter, so...
お？気になりますか？やっぱり？
I wouldn't say that, but...
じゃあ教えてあげない。
Okay, I'm curious. Tell me, Ms. Agea.
まんざらでもない様子だったかな。
Saying that, Agea took a side glance and watched for my reaction. It was clear that she was baiting me for a reaction. I'm sure my agitation showed on my face just now. Agea smiled a cold, cruel smile of satisfaction. She was enjoying this.
一応真剣に考えるつもりみたいよ。
Obviously.
もしかしたら付き合っちゃうかもね。お、動揺してるね。
You're having fun with this, aren't you?
うん。
You have such a charming personality.
宮田くんって悪いやつじゃないからさ、小鳥のことを幸せにしてくれるならそれもいいのかななんて。
She peeped at me. Quit watching for my reaction every time.
すぐ帰らなくていいの？
She wants to be alone, so she went back early, right? So I can't just intrude on her, can I?
そうなんだけどさ。それでこうして小鳥のために海外のサイトを見て回ってるのもなんだかなって思うんですけど。
I don't have anything else to do. What am I supposed to do?
だったらさっさと帰ってテスト勉強でもすれば？
Cut it out already. You don't have to tell me that. I'll go back in a bit. I should never have asked in the first place. While complaining, I continued looking through the German website. It is now nighttime. It had been a year since I had started preparing dinner together with Kotori. I'd gotten used to it, and we were a pretty good team. But today... She's sighing again. She'd been like this the whole time. She was missing the spirit that she always had. I wonder if she's thinking about her reply to the love letter. Thinking about that, even I got restless. Hey, don't zone out like that when you're holding a knife. Hey, are you listening? Now look, I told you to be careful. Kaneko, can you go get the first aid kit? I called over to Kaneko, who had been watching TV in the dining area. Thank you so much. Show me the cut. Bright red blood was running down her slender fingertip. Doesn't seem that deep. I wiped the blood away with the tissue and then applied a bandage. I don't know what happened to you, but don't zone out like that. Kotori answered while idly rubbing her fingertip, which was wrapped with the bandage. After hesitating for a bit, I spoke. If you want to talk, I'll listen. Aren't you worried about something? If you are, you can tell me. I was a bit embarrassed and inadvertently spoke a little too bluntly. Kotori was taken aback for a moment. I see. I felt a throbbing pain in my chest. It was like a small needle being pushed in. Ugh. Kotori was probably panicking and following up like this because I wasn't saying anything. Yeah, I got it. I smiled and replied. This wasn't good. Ever since learning about the love letter, I'd been feeling strange. What is it? Really? Everything's the same as always. Oh no. Burn my... Black smoke was swirling out of the frying pan. Oh no! Why didn't you tell me earlier? I guess I'll have to make it over. I wonder if we have enough ingredients left. This was adding insult to injury. Please do. I washed the frying pan and made the main dish again. As Kaneko had said, this was a first for me since entering Flying Fish Manor. But since Kotori was helping me, it wouldn't take long to do again. Anyway, what are you going to do this year? Summer break. You aren't going home. You aren't going to go home. As far as I knew, Kotori had only gone home once this year. That was for New Year's. She'd been driven by Hibari, and it was just a day trip. I see. As weird as it sounded, I was relieved that Kotori wasn't going home. It wasn't about club activities. It was because if Kotori had said she'd spend the entire summer break at home, I would have been really lonely. Owie, just admit your feelings. Come on, they're there. I've been following this route for a reason. Meanwhile, final exams ended, and it was the last day of the first term. During the boring closing ceremony, all I could think about was Kotori. It had been 2 days since she had received the love letter from Miyata. It seemed she had not replied yet. She wasn't as spirited as usual and seemed deeply immersed in thought. As she wasn't saying anything to me, I couldn't intrude. Even if I tried, I wouldn't have any advice for her. But it does bother me. Agea enjoyed how I held onto these feelings I couldn't express. Either way, I had just been left alone. Agea said she was going shopping and left before me and the other girls from her class. With a listless expression, Kotori told me that she didn't feel well and left too. I guess I'll stop by the base and then go back. I didn't have much to do, but it was better than just going back to the dormitory. Then, just as I was lost in my thoughts...
ありゃ、こりゃ参ったわね。
After leaving the school gates, I saw Kotori and Kaneko. Kaneko was kneeling down and peering at the lower portion of Kotori's wheelchair. What happened?
葵くん、なんかね、動かなくなっちゃったんだって。
Aww. It didn't seem like it had another flat tire. The frame is bent, and the wheel is touching against it.
こりゃ、応急処置じゃどうにもならんね。
Kotori, sitting in the wheelchair, had an uneasy look in her face. Hold on a sec. Trying to reassure her, I put my hand on Kotori's head and took out my cell phone. At a time like this, I could rely on Tatsuya. Oh, hey, Tatsuya, can you talk now? I explained the situation to Tatsuya. You're a hero, thanks. I hung up the phone and looked back at Kotori. If we leave the wheelchair somewhere where Tatsuya can find it, he says he'll pick it up and repair it. He said it probably won't even take a day.
よかった。
Finally, Kotori started to look a little relieved. If the wheelchair broke, Kotori couldn't go anywhere.
あとは、小鳥ちゃんがどうやって寮まで帰るかだね。
Shall I call a taxi?
それか、自転車で二人乗りして帰るかだね。
That's an idea. Kaneko pointed to a bicycle that was sitting near us. Kaneko commuted to school by bike. No, that won't work. Kotori couldn't move her legs. In other words, even if she were seated, it would be difficult for her to balance on the bike.
じゃあ、タクシーを呼びますか。私、自転車がいい。
Kotori suddenly spoke up.
ね、乗せて、自転車に。
She seemed so excited. Why are your eyes sparkling like that? They were sparkling as much as Asa's had been when she'd heard about the camp.
だって、タクシーだとお金かかるし、それに自転車がいいの。葵くんが運転してよ。自転車部だったんでしょ。
Kotori?
じゃ、頼んだよ。
Kaneko said as she left the bicycle and started to walk. Wait, Kaneko! Kaneko waved goodbye and continued walking. I guess we have no choice. Grab my arm. Don't let go. I sat Kotori sideways onto the rack of the bicycle, which was on its stand. I left the wheelchair near the school gates where it could be seen. This would allow Tatsuya to pick it up. There was no way someone would steal it.
結構高いのね。
Holding on to me, Kotori shivered. It was unstable and higher than a wheelchair, so I could imagine how scary it was for her. Do you want to get a taxi after all?
自転車がいい。
She was being stubborn as always. Okay, whatever you do, don't let go. Got it?
わかった。
After emphasizing that point, I sat on the bicycle seat and pedaled. The bicycle slowly began to move.
お、すごいすごい、走ってる。
Please don't get too excited.
だって
Squeeze. Kotori firmly held onto my back. Yes, just keep holding on like that.
どうぞ
With Kotori seated on the back, I glided down the gentle slope in front of the school gate. I was going slowly, but past Kifu students who were walking home, one after another. Everyone was looking at Kotori, who was in high spirits.
すごいすごい
Kotori was famous among students at our school, in a lot of ways. It was probably the first time for them to see her not sitting in a wheelchair. Riding a bike like this, she looked like a regular girl that you could see anywhere.
すごいね早いね
It's not scary.
うん全然
Well then, shall we take the scenic route? Hearing Kotori's spirited reply, I put a bit more energy into pedaling. I branched off from the route I usually took and entered a different street. Eventually, we rode up an embankment and got onto the road that ran alongside the lake. Ah, beautiful visual.
湖だ
From the road built on top of the embankment, one could see all the way to the cliff on the other side of the lake. The surface of the lake sparkled brilliantly in the summer sun, and beyond that was a group of wind turbines.
すっごく気持ちいい
Kotori said this while feeling the wind against her skin.
自転車って最高だね
I know, right? I replied, feeling as though I was being complimented directly.
葵くんしんどそう
I'm fine. I haven't ridden a bike for a while, so my body's not really used to it. That's all. I had not pedaled like this for about 2 years. The bike was geared quite high, so even if I pedaled hard, it didn't pick up much speed.
私ね自転車乗るの初めて
Is that so?
今まで乗ったことなかったのこんなに気持ちいいんだ自分で漕げたらもっと気持ちいいんでしょうね
Yeah. For some reason, I replied as if bragging.
グライダーで飛ぶのもこんな気持ちなの
I'm not sure about that. Even though a glider travels much faster than a bicycle, the sensation was smoother. But the scenery is so great, it doesn't even compare.
私はもうずっと車椅子からしか景色を見てなかったからこれでも十分新鮮だわほんの少し目線が高くなるだけでこんなにも違って見えるから不思議よね
Sitting on the rack, Kotori straightened her back as if to stretch it a little. Oh no! I lost my balance slightly and the bike swerved a little. Kotori quickly grabbed onto my lower back.
怖かった落ちるかと思った
I told you it was dangerous.
ごめん
If she fell, she would definitely have been injured. I put my hands on Kotori's, which were around my waist, and pulled them to tighten her grip. Don't let go of me. I felt Kotori place her head on my back. Perhaps because she was scared, she pressed much closer against me than before. I was a bit embarrassed, but it was safer for her.
汗かいてる
Sorry.
別に嫌じゃないよ
She pressed her cheek to my back.
こうしてる方が安心するから
I see. Her being pressed against me caused me to sweat even more. Since we were on the bike, I couldn't exactly tell her not to get so close. Besides, I didn't mind it either. Don't you feel hot?
風が気持ちいいよ
A A cool wind blew from the lake, fluttering Kotori's long hair. The nostalgic sound of the wheels spinning was music to my ears. It felt like the whole world had gone silent, apart from the soft sound of the wheels. I wanted to enjoy the sound longer, so I stopped talking and just kept pedaling. Kotori wasn't talking either. Maybe she felt the same way. Meanwhile, we were gradually getting closer to the dormitory. It was just up ahead, around the next corner. Hey, Kotori. I heard you got a love letter. Have you replied yet?
まだ。
I see.
なんで？
No reason, really. I just wondered what you had decided to do. We fell silent again. This was a silence different to the one preceding it. It was an awkward one.
明日返事するつもり。
Oh? Really?
気になる？なんて返事するか。
Yeah, well, a little, I guess. Have you already decided?
まだ。
I see. Squeeze. Kotori squeezed me tightly from behind. What's wrong? Are you scared? She shook her head so as to rub her face against my back.
こうしてると安心するだけ。
I see. I wanted to tell her it was the same for me, but kept my mouth shut. This is a gravelly road, so it'll get a bit bumpy. We bumped along the gravel path and then turned down a side road. We were almost at Flying Fish Manor. This time, we were enjoying together was about to end. A lonely feeling swept over me, and I came to a sudden realization. I had a crush on Kotori. A sudden realization, huh? Breaking news! The first day of summer break. It's hot. The weather is really nice again today, huh? While I was hanging my laundry out to dry, Kotori came outside. She was in her wheelchair, which Tatsuya had fixed and delivered the night before. Are you going out?
ちょっと。
I see. Come back by lunch, okay?
わかった。じゃあ。
Kotori said that without looking at me, and then left abruptly. Oh, what's going on in her mind, huh? Like an open book, as always.
おはようっす。
Agea came just as Kotori left.
小鳥は？
She left already.
そう。じゃあ私らも出かけますか。
Alright.
ごめんなさい。あなたの気持ちはすごく嬉しかったわ。でもお付き合いはできません。
どうして僕のこと嫌い？
そういうわけじゃないけど。っていうかよく知らないし。
やっぱり迷惑だったかな。急にあんな手紙渡したりして。
そんなことない。嬉しかったわ。本当よ。
じゃあ。
でもダメなの。
Cause she likes someone else.
やっぱりあの水瀬ってやつと付き合ってるの？いつも一緒にいるだろ。昨日も自転車で二人乗りしてるところを見たよ。
そうじゃないの。今の私は片思いしてるの。空に。
Oh my lord, they heard that? Oh no, they heard that?
空に？
They... Look at that. I can't. Every time I look at the screen, she. She's so unironic. She's so genuine. Look at it. I can't. Oh.
私はこの空に
She's so genuine. Hold on. Oh man. I'm sorry. I don't know why this is so funny. I'm in love with this guy. She's so serious about it. And Ageha and Aoi are. Yeah, they heard that.
ダメだって葵
They heard that.
笑っちゃ気づかれちゃ
But she said she's in love with this guy.
真面目に言ってるんだから笑っちゃかわいそうだって
Yeah, this is gawking at her too. Oh man.
そうなんだ。じゃあしょうがないよね。
Okay. I think Miyata's thinking now he just dodged a bullet.
わかったよ、ハバネさん。君のことは諦める。
ごめんね宮田くん
I think Miyata's suddenly like, wow.
叶うといいね、君の夢。
叶えてみせるわ
Okay, we're all calm now. Everything's good.
宮田くん帰ってく終わったみたいね
Somehow I got through it without laughing. She's actually serious about what she said.
一途だからねでもほっとしたんじゃない
About what?
小鳥が宮田くんとくっつかなくて
Not particularly. That Miyata, he seems like a good guy.
強がり言っちゃって小鳥かわいいからこれからもこういうことあると思うよ早めに捕まえとかないと
Stay out of this. I mean, she's in love with the sky. I said it with a glum face, imitating Kotari. Oh no, remembering. Suddenly the urge to laugh came back.
何してんのあんたたち
And she heard them. An uneasy air came over the area. Kotari?
あっちゃー見つかっちゃったまさか覗いてたんじゃ
Of course not, Kotari. We were just worried about you, and...
そうそう宮田くんに強引に迫られてたりしたらどうしようって思ってねでも安心したわなかなかスマートな断り方だったと思うよ
Yeah, you're in love with the sky. Another great phrase has been born.
バカにして
Whoa! Hey, don't throw stones!
まあ何よいいでしょ私が何に恋しようか危ないって小鳥
That's a bad habit you've got there of throwing things when you get angry. Cut it out!
怒らせるあんたらの方が悪いんだもんデリカシーのない最低野郎だもん葵あとは任せだ
What? Ah! That's low, Ageha! Whoa! I'm sorry. Please forgive me, Kotari. I'll buy you ice cream.
もう絶対許さない地獄に落ちやがれ
Oh, that face. When you see that face, run. Ah! And that was how our summer break started this year. Just like that. Yeah. Well, can't say he didn't deserve it. But she was just so serious. A few days had passed since summer vacation had started. The new hangar had better equipment than the school garage, so compared to last year, we could get a lot done. Work on the glider was going well. After laminating the wings yesterday, we had to wait for the pitch to harden. That meant we had a bit of spare time. So today... look where we are again. We all went out to swim. Does it mean Asa and Yoru are here too? Oh, it sure does.
本当にやるんですか？ごめんね、アサちゃん。でもこれはソアリング部の新入部員に課せられた使命、いわばイニシエーションなのよ。
Don't forget, Amane cannot swim. She cannot swim. Agea told Asa.
浮き輪から手離すんじゃないわよ。死んじゃうわよ。こら。
Kotori and Hattie, who had jumped in earlier, called up from below.
ユルちゃん。姉さん、ファイト。
Yoru is so bored. Why is she there? She's not in the club. Forsaken even by Yoru, Asa gave up and closed her eyes. Asa looked as if she was watching her life flash before her eyes. Here we go, Asa!
せーの、トッペー。
We let go of her. While emitting a cute little scream, Asa glided through the air. A few seconds later, splash. Her scream was cut off as she splashed into the water.
おー、結構飛んだわね。
Could be a new record.
怖かったです。よくやったわ、アサ。これであんたは名実ともにソアリング部員よ。これ一体何の意味があるんですか？度胸試し？
Well, I guess it's like a taste of what it's like to fly.
ヨルちゃんも飛んどく？遠慮するわ。私ソアリング部じゃないし。
After our established custom of jumping from the cliff, we began playing around in the lake. I guess Amane's not here.
あまねちゃんも来られたらよかったのにね。
There we go.
しょうがないわよ。大人だからお仕事が忙しいんだってなんか自慢げにしてたし。
But at least it seemed like she wanted to come. She can join us next time.
そうね。ぷい。
Kotori turned away from me. Kotori?
何？ぷい。
It would be great if you could stop looking away when you talk to me.
知らない。ぷい。
She was still angry at us for watching her talk to Miyata the other day. Well, it was understandable that she would be angry.
行こうアゲハ。あっちで泳ごう。ああ。
But she's talking to Ageha. She's happy. She's best friends with Ageha, even though she did the exact same thing. Ageha was peeking the other day too. Why was I the only one being treated like this? Yeah. The longer I play this game, the more I get in these characters' heads, I swear.
イエーイイエーイ。振られた。
Oh, boo-hoo.
先輩、私たちと一緒に遊びましょう。
Thanks. I'm moved to tears by your kindness. To be honest, Kotori didn't actually seem that angry. At least she still would listen to what I was saying. She also helped prepare for dinner and didn't put up a fuss when I pushed her wheelchair on the way back from the base. All she did was act like she had a moment ago. Or she would eat some of my dinner without asking me. Or she would loosen the cap of my soda bottle in the fridge, letting it go flat. Those kind of things. She was probably doing it for some kind of revenge, but I wasn't sure if I would call it that. There was nothing else to do, so I decided to go play with Asa and Yoru. Mwah! Good night, everybody.
さーてはい
Sounds like a volleyball. Or a beach ball. Whoa! We played with a ball near the shore, letting the water lap at our ankles.
行くよ夜ちゃん姉さんナイストス
Oof!
先輩大丈夫ですかもろ顔面に入ったわねもう強く打ちすぎだよ夜ちゃん
Just what was I even doing?
いいの小鳥何が葵のことほっといていいのよあんなやつ朝ちゃんたちと楽しそうにしてるよだから何よ朝ちゃん葵に懐いてるみたいだしこのままだともしかすると
News to me.
ねえ本当に覗き見されたから怒ってるのそうよ怒って当然だもの私も覗いてたんだけどアゲハはいいの親友だから葵は違うの違わないだよねいいのもうほっといてよ
Ageha. With the reverse psychology on everyone.
あと行くわよわわやれやれ
Excuse me. For the whole morning, we were playing beach volleyball, swimming, and building sandcastles. We ate the lunch we had packed, and after feeling full, we relaxed for the afternoon. This feels good.
わ
I stood on the stand next to Hattie, enjoying the sun. After eating so much, I felt sleepy. Suddenly, a cold can was pressed against my cheek. I was almost startled by the sudden cold.
飲む
Thanks. I took the can from Ageha, pulled the tab, and drank it. The refreshing drink helped quench my thirst. How's she doing?
ボートの上で光合成してる
Is she still mad?
さあそこまでは見た目じゃわかんないわね
I see. Ageha sat next to me.
一口ちょうだい
She took the can from my hand and drank.
また関節キスしちゃったわねこんなとこ見たらまた小鳥の機嫌が悪くなるかな
If you feel that way, don't take my drink. I took the can back from Ageha, and after hesitating for a bit, I took a sip out of it.
ほら見てよあれ
Over where Ageha was looking, Kotori was floating on a rubber boat. Hello! I looked over at her, and I almost forgot to breathe. Kotori laid there comfortably with her eyes closed. Lying on the boat, it seemed like she was just enjoying the sun on her skin. Today, she seems somehow illuminated by the sun. Her skin sparkled. Her hair was wet from the water, and it looked even more beautiful than normal. There was such a beautiful balance to her body. Normally, wearing clothes, I had never noticed how slender she was. Seeing her in her swimsuit, it really highlighted her features. When we swam here last year, I hadn't felt anything when I saw her. While she had certain cuteness from her feminine charms, her good looks made her look mature as well. Looking directly at her made my face turn red. But I couldn't turn my eyes away from her.
こうして見ると ほんといい女だよね。
Yeah. Agaya looked sideways at me when I answered in a daze.
好きにならないわけないよね。もしあんな可愛い子と一緒に暮らしてたら。
I know, right? Again, I answered in a daze. Agaya clicked her tongue at me, then let out a sigh.
早いとこ仲直りしたら。見てるこっちがなんかもどかしくなってきちゃうよ。
If I could, I'd do it right away.
アイスおごってやるとかじゃダメか。なんかないかな、いい手が。
All right. Getting a bit enthusiastic, I leaned over and made eye contact with Hattie. Hattie, I have a favor to ask.
わ、
And of course, he can clearly understand and fulfill that favor. I want you to go and see how Kotori is doing.
わっか。
As if he understood my words, Hattie walked off down the sandy beach. He entered the water and swam towards the boat that Kotori was lying on. Good. Just like that. Upon arriving at the boat, Hattie climbed onto Kotori's stomach. Look at him.
はあ。はあ。
Kotori groaned in confusion. Good job, Hattie.
わっか。
Hattie pecked Kotori's stomach with his bill, trying to wake her up. However, Kotori's eyes were still closed.
わあ。
Being ignored, Hattie got bored and performed a yawn-like motion before curling up on Kotori's stomach. Hattie moved up and down with the rise and fall of Kotori's breath. Somehow, Kotori seemed to be in a good mood. If she were in a bad mood, she would have pushed Hattie off of her stomach right away. After using Hattie to check Kotori's mood, I slowly began to make my way towards the boat. Having a pleasant dream, I hope.
もう、あと、重い。
Suddenly, Kotori opened her eyes.
お腹に乗るなっていつも言ってるでしょ。わわ。ガーガーじゃない。もう邪魔よ。降りて。出ないと明日からダイエットさせるわよ。
What a terrible threat. Hattie didn't seem to understand the situation. Maybe he thought that it was the time to play. Kotori's expression grew sterner and sterner. Kotori grabbed Hattie and flung him towards the water. But what great airtime. I was standing right where he fell into the water. My eyes met Kotori's.
何か用？
Well, I had been making a plan in my head about how to approach her, but it all went to waste. You look comfortable.
このボート使いたいの？
No, it's not that. My gaze wandered while I searched for words. My gaze went up to Kotori, who was stretched out on the boat. No, it's... I'm not looking.
エッチ。
She muttered at me and turned to face the other way. Pervert? So my plan had just backfired.
お疲れ。どうだった？
Not well at all. On top of that, she had called me a pervert, too.
ありゃ、そりゃ残念だったわね。
I'm going to go cool off in the shade. I went off in order to think of my next strategy. And he's back.
今の何だったのかしら。私のことずっと見てたみたいだけど。ねえ、ハット？ わわ。まあいいか。あと重いからどいて。
Guys, you didn't forget anything, did you? Did you gather up all of your trash? Okay, let's go home. I gave everyone instructions like a teacher in charge, and then started pushing Kotori's wheelchair. It was heavy on the sand, so I was the only one who could push it.
お尻がジャリジャリする。
I'll wash it off for you when we get back.
お願い。
You don't have to act like that all the time.
ぷいったらぷいよ。
It felt like she was keeping this up only because she was too stubborn to let go. I was getting worried that she was going to stay like this for the rest of her life. But even still, Kotori is so cute when she's sulking. It was a strange feeling, but it had been a fun day. I was able to see Kotori in her swimsuit after all. What is it?
エッチ。ぷい。
Did my expression give it away? I tried to keep a straight face as we continued on our way home.
もういい加減許してやりなさい。なんでよ。周りが気を使うからよ。つうか、あんたもう本当は怒ってないんでしょ。意地張ってるうちに仲直りするタイミングを見失っちゃってるだけでしょ。そんなことはないわ。私の心は今現在も冬眠から目覚めたクマのように荒ぶっているわ。嘘つけ。昼間葵から声かけられて嬉しそうに顔を赤くしてたくせに。違うもん。赤くなんてしてないもん。そんなに赤かった。
Yes.
葵は優しいしおおらかなとこあるからいいけど。そうなの。嫌われちゃうかな、葵くんに。かもね。好きなんでしょ、葵のこと。わかんないよ、そんなの。なんでさ、自分の気持ちじゃない。だってそんなこと今まで想像もしたことなかったから。1年も一緒に暮らしてて。私ね、宮田くんからラブレターもらってすっごく嬉しかったの。そうなの？宮田のこと知らなかったんじゃなかったっけ？顔も見たことなかったわ。でも嬉しかったの。だって私のこと好きって言ってくれたのよ。私こんなだから自分がまた誰かの恋愛対象になれるなんて思ってもみなかった。だからラブレターもらってびっくりしたし、すごく嬉しかった。小鳥、私のこと女の子として見てくれる人なんてもう一生現れないって思ってたから。誰かを好きになんてならないようにしてたと。でもいたんだよね。そりゃいるよ。だって小鳥かわいいよ。でもこんなだし、性格だって歪んでるし。歪んでないって。ちょっと変なとこもかわいいよ。
Agreed.
葵くんはアゲハのこと好きなんでしょ？はい？なんで？だって告白したって。だからそれは昔の話だって。小さい頃よ。でもそれに大事なのは自分の気持ちでしょ。小鳥が誰を好きなのか。 このラブレター今も毎日読んでるの。これくれたのが葵くんだったらなって思いながら。
Agea had better tell Aoi to write a letter.
小鳥、自分から告白するって手もあるんだよ。ダメよそんなの。私なんかに好きになられてもきっと迷惑だもん。私なんて足手まといになるだけよ。
This is the whole premise of Kotori's character. She thinks that she's a burden to everyone. She didn't want to join the soaring club because she felt like she was a burden. She didn't want to stay in the school in the first place because she thought she was a burden, and now she doesn't want to confess any feelings to anyone because she feels like that would just make her even more of a burden. Group hug time.
あんたね、葵が本気でそんなこと考えるやつだって思ってるわけ？でも無理、言えない。もし振られたら一生立ち直れない。それならこのままずっと仲のいい友達でいてほしい。まあその気持ちはわからなくもないかな。おはよう。
Good morning, Agea. Where's Kotori?
まだ寝てる。昨日遅かったからね。
Yesterday, after swimming in the lake, Agea had spent the night in Kotori's room. They had been excited about having a pajama party, and I heard their muffled voices all night.
降ってきちゃったね。
Yeah, it's supposed to continue for a while. Agea took some milk from the fridge and poured it into a cup.
もう怒ってないみたいよ。
Hmm?
いや、なんか聞きたそうにしてるから。
Oh, well, I'm glad to hear.
葵ってさ、小鳥のこと好きなんだよね。
She said it so frankly that it took me a moment to process the question. Yeah, I do. I answered unhappily, partly because I was embarrassed, and partly because I was frustrated to be asked it like it was nothing.
言っちゃえば好きだって。
It's not that easy. We were in the soaring club together, and I'm in charge of the dorms, and I don't know her feelings.
小鳥の気持ち、もう大体わかってるでしょ。
Agea said this while drinking her milk. I have no idea. All I knew was that she didn't hate me. The word like could mean so many different meanings. Besides, if I said something and it didn't work out, it might make her feel cornered.
追い詰める？
She relies on me, right? But when I think about things getting awkward,
ふーん。
Agea sounded like she was in a bad mood.
ずいぶんな思い上がりだね。小鳥はあんたがいなくたってきっと平気だと思うよ。
What, is she playing matchmaker?
立派にやってくよ。サポートが必要なら私がする。それに私からするとあんたの言い分はのろけにしか聞こえないわ。
What do you mean?
小鳥に依存されて幸せみたいな。
That's not true.
まあいいわ。私が口出すことじゃないし。どうぞお好きになさってください。
What a remark for her to make like that. Yeah, I'll do what I want. In any case, nothing good would come from continuing the way things were going. I had to do something about this feeling, and fast.
ごめんください。
Oh, it's her sister. Oh, hey, Hibari.
こんにちは、水瀬さん。
Hibari stopped by just after noon as it was raining. Before, Hibari had come once a week, but lately she had been coming less, It was her first visit since summer break had started. I haven't seen you in a while.
ええ、仕事が忙しかったんです。それに近頃は小鳥ちゃんも楽しそうで安心して見ていられるようになったので、本当は毎日来たいんですけどね。
Her voice had an unhappy tone. Knowing her, she actually would come every day if she could. But it's rare for you to come at this time. She usually came at night.
今日は小鳥ちゃんと大事な話があって来たんです。
Hibari's face turned serious as she spoke firmly.
いやよ、お願いよ小鳥ちゃん。嫌ったら嫌、絶対に帰らない。お盆の間だけでいいの。お父さんもお母さんも小鳥ちゃんに会いたがってるわ。お正月に帰ったんだからそれで十分でしょ。日帰りであっちにいたのほんのちょっぴりだったじゃない。あれで精一杯です。まだ気にしてるの？あのこと。もう昔のことよ。二人とも今は反省してるし、だから全然昔のことじゃない。私にとっては昨日のことよ。小鳥ちゃん、分かったでしょ。もう出てって。いいえ、出て行きません。今日は何としてでも小鳥ちゃんに帰るって約束してもらいます。どんなに粘っても絶対に帰らないんですからね。
I wonder what her conflict is.
ずっとこのままでいるつもりなの？そうよ、そのつもり。じゃあ学校を卒業した後はどうするの？一人で暮らしていくの？小鳥ちゃん、逃げてちゃダメよ。辛いのはわかるけど。ハットわアタック
She's got her personal attack duck. Be careful, this duck is loaded. Driven away by Hattie, Hibari ran from Kotobi's room. Whoa, cut it out, Hattie! Are you okay, Hibari?
大丈夫です。あかんぺー。
After Hattie had come back to her, Kotobi shut the door and locked it. What's with her?
いいの。私が言い過ぎちゃったんです。
What in the world happened just now? It seemed like you were fighting over whether she'd go home or not. I asked while I prepared tea for Hibari.
私、今年こそは小鳥ちゃんを家に連れて帰ろうと、そう心に決めてきたんです。
What do you mean by take her home?
お盆の間だけですよ。ずっとってことじゃないです。
Hearing that, I gave a sigh of relief.
でも、ダメでした。
Why won't she go home? Are things not going well with the family? It might have been a rude question, but I'd been wondering, so I went ahead and asked. With a grave look on her face, Hibari stared at her tea.
小鳥ちゃんの足の怪我のこと、何か聞いていますか？
Yeah, just a little. I heard it was something to do with an accident during a family trip.
あれは今からもう4年も前になります。楽しい家族旅行があの事故のせいで。それまではどこにでもいる幸せな家族でした。両親の仲も良くて、小鳥ちゃんのような可愛い娘もいて、きっと誰もが羨むような
Okay,
平凡で幸せな家庭。
be right back, guys. I need to let my cat out.
けど、あの事故が全てを変えてしまったんです。
You never know what will happen in life. There are times when you think you're living an ordinary life, and then suddenly, without warning, something is taken from you. Just like what happened with me. But what was taken from the Habane family was something beyond comparison with my situation. I always thought it was strange, but why is Kotori living in a dorm? Usually if someone has a disability, don't they live with their family? Otherwise, they might encounter a facility with a caregiver. They might enter a facility with a caregiver.
小鳥ちゃんが事故に遭った後、家族は一変しました。両親は事故の責任をめぐって互いを責め、動かなくなった小鳥ちゃんの足を見て毎日泣いていました。小鳥ちゃんね、バレーボールの選手だったんですよ。背はあまり高くなかったけれど、すごいジャンプ力で本当にかっこよかったの。だから余計に辛かったんでしょうね。
It's terrible, but it must be harder for Kotori than anyone else. Hibari nodded deeply in agreement.
父も母も小鳥ちゃんのことを心から愛してたわ。だから小鳥ちゃんの前ではなるべく見せないようにはしてて。けどどんなに隠してても分かっちゃうのよね。家族ですもの。小鳥ちゃんはそれを自分のせいだと思って、いつの間にか自分を責めるようになっていたんです。
And that's how Kotori ended up here? Hibari nodded.
いたたまれなくなって家を出たんだと思うの。小鳥ちゃんが出て行ってから家の中は時間が止まったみたいになってる。あの頃の事故の後のまま。
I could only imagine what it was like for them. If I lost Kotori now, it would tear my heart apart. But even still, it must have been the hardest for Kotori. I was positive that her mom and dad both understood that and were trying their best to be considerate. But even so, it probably wasn't possible for a person to bury all of that sadness and continue smiling. It was like all that sadness was too much for one person to bear. Far too much.
私は小鳥ちゃんはこのトビウオ荘に来てよかったって思ってるんです。特に水瀬さんと出会ってからあの子は変わったわ。よく笑うようになったし、お友達も増えて毎日楽しそう。まるで少しずつ昔の小鳥ちゃんに戻っていくみたい。
That's so sweet. If that's the case, it makes me happy too. If I could ease the sadness of Kotori and her family even by just a little bit, I would do anything.
今の小鳥ちゃんを見ればお父さんもお母さんも安心してまた昔のように笑えるかもしれない。お正月に帰った時は本当に嬉しそうで、久しぶりに家の中が明るくなったんですよ。
Seeing Hibari smile at saying this, I felt a pain, like my heart was being squeezed. Hey, Kotori! There was no reply. Kotori, I know you're there. Open the door, please. I heard the sound of the door being unlocked. I'm coming in.
ひばり姉に頼まれてきたの？
No. Look, what you did earlier was terrible.
あんた、ちょっと脅かしただけだもん。ねえ、ハット。ガガ。
Well, I guess Hattie had just rustled about and driven Hibari off. He probably hadn't even pecked at her. Still, it wouldn't be out of the ordinary for someone to faint from being attacked by such a big bird.
さっきはよくやったわ、ハット。あんたは私のボディーガードよ。わあ。
Hattie seemed happy to be praised by Kotori. I took out a cucumber I had been hiding and waved it in front of Hattie. Hey, I could see Hattie's little duck door at the back of the room. I've never seen that before. Never noticed that before. Stay calm for a little bit, okay?
何すんのよ。
I can't have Hattie attacking me too now.
ダメよハット、そんなの食べちゃう。
Hattie was so concentrated on eating the cucumber, his favorite food, he didn't seem to hear Kochodi's voice at all.
所詮はアヒルか。
So, why don't you want to go home?
前も言ったでしょ。今が大事な時なんだから、私たちにとって。
We'll be fine if you aren't here for a bit.
何よそれ。私なんていてもいなくても一緒って言いたいの？
I said just for a little while. It was obvious that Kotori was upset. I heard about the situation from Hibari. I understand how you feel. But running away won't solve anything.
逃げてなんかない。
You don't hate your mom and dad, do you? I mean, when you were talking about quitting school before, you said you wanted to reassure your parents. Kotori remained in silence. You're actually worried about your family, right?
そりゃ少しくらいはしてるけど。
Then it wouldn't hurt to go back for just a bit, would it? While you aren't here, the others and I can cover for you. So...
帰らないって言ってるでしょ。もうほっといてよ。
Kotori...
なんでそんなこと言うの？葵くんにはそんなこと言われたくない。これは私のうちのことよ。あなたには関係ないんだから、余計な口出ししないで。
Hearing Kotori's tear yelling, Hattie, who had been eating the cucumber, lifted his head. I'm sorry. I went too far.
葵くん。
You're completely right. This is not something I should butt into. I forced a smile as I said it, but I felt sad on the inside.
そうよ。あんたには関係ないんだもん。
I'm sorry. Anyone would have gotten angry. I'm so sorry to have bothered you. After saying that, I left Kotori's room. And what a mess. The rain continued to drizzle for several days. After that, things were awkward between Kotori and I, and we stopped talking face to face. It wasn't that we were angry or hated each other. We just didn't know how to interact.
Mm. あの二人がずっとあの調子だものね。黙々と働く分、作業効率はむしろアップしてるんだけどな。でももう姉さんが窒息寸前よ。息苦しくて辛いです。だよね。しかしなんとかしようにもな。その後どうなの？葵とは口聞いた？昨日の夕飯の時、お好み焼きにマヨネーズをかけるかどうか聞かれたっきり。
Well, did she? Did she need mayonnaise? We need answers. We need them now.
そりゃ重症だわね。あの葵がそこまで落ち込むとはね。どうしよう、嫌われちゃったのかな。さあ、それはなんとも。いやよ、そんなの。葵くんに嫌われたくないよ。やっぱあの一言が効いたんじゃないかな。
I don't want to hear it from the likes of you, Allie.
あいつあんたの保護者ぶってたからショックだったんじゃない？あれはつい言っちゃっただけで本当の気持ちじゃないもん。 じゃあそう伝えれば？それでまた元通りだと思うよ。そうかな。それで葵はなんて言ったんだっけ？立ち入ったこと言って悪かったって。まあ他人の家の事情に口出すのも変だよね。そんなことない。葵くんには出されてもいい。そう思うんなら本心をちゃんと伝えなって。へたれてても状況は変わんないよ。でももう嫌われちゃってるもん、きっと。今さら何言ってんだとか思われちゃうよ。ずぶ濡れだ。あまね先輩。あまねちゃん。いやー、君たち悪いが拭くものを持っていないか？
Well, here she is. Took all
小鳥
episode.
先輩と仲直りしてください。姉さんが窒息する前にね。
It's not that easy. I was being pressed by the Kazuto sisters in a corner of the hangar. Sorry I made things so awkward, but, they were telling me to make up with Kotari, but it wasn't like we were exactly fighting.
私嫌です。小鳥先輩と葵先輩が仲良くないなんて。ボタンを掛け違えたままにしてるような気持ち悪さがあるわね。前みたいに仲良くしましょうよ。ねえ先輩。
Asa grabbed my arm and shook it like she was pleading. Kotari and I had gotten along well. Almost too well. That was why I'd intruded on her family's business so bluntly, like I knew everything. But that had hurt her. The time I had tried to stop Kotari from quitting school, I hadn't held anything back. At the time, I didn't even worry if she would hate me for it or not. I felt like even if she hated me, if I could change her ways, it would be worth it. I had been able to do that because we had just met. But this time, it was different. I'd gotten comfortable with our friendship and intruded into an area she was uncomfortable with. I don't want to hear it from the likes of you, Allie. I can't believe she talked to me like that. Remembering that made my heart sink even now. Thanks to that, I wasn't sure how to talk to her. I felt a vague sense of distance. Of course I didn't want to leave things as they were. When Kotari calms down a bit, I'll apologize to her again. There was something else I had to tell her.
絶対ですよ。
I promise. Hi, Scuzzy Bum. How are you doing? First time chat. Hi. Welcome to the stream. The problem was that Kotari wasn't looking for an apology. So I didn't know what I should do. The door opened and Agea and the others returned to the hangar. And behind them...
やあ。
Amane!
久しぶりだな、葵くん。
Amane entered in her usual carefree fashion. It was the first time in a while that she'd come here.
お、だいぶできたな。
She said as she was looking at the airframe, which was close to completion. All we have left to do is the paint job and the detailing.
それはいい。スケジュール的にも余裕がありそうだな。
Hmm?
みんな、集まってくれ。
Sounding like she had something important to say, Amane gathered everyone. Kotari noticed me and awkwardly looked away. Amane began talking, not noticing the strange atmosphere. Because that's Amane.
顧問を引き受けたのに、あんまり顔を出せなくて申し訳ない。大人だからな。忙しいんだ。いえいえ、顧問をやってもらってるだけで十分ですよ。
Agea ignored the bragging and replied,
それでな、少しでも役に立てればと思ってこんなものを作ってきたんだ。
Amane began to remove a large sheet of paper from a long, thin tube.
濡れてる。隙間から水が入ってしまったぞ。
Oh, that's not good.
何なんですかそれ。
Agea asked, breaking the tension.
これはな、小鳥へのプレゼントだ。私？
Kotori was taken by surprise.
そこの事務所の PC でブックマークを見つけてな。
I see where this is going.
それで書いてみたんだ。
She spoke as she opened the sheet. It looked like some kind of blueprint. But it wasn't a glider like everyone thought. For a moment, even Ageha didn't know what it was.
何ですかこれ。コックピットみたいですけど。だからそこの PC にあっただろ。海外製のコックピットの。
Oh! Everyone was surprised by my sudden outburst.
びっくりした。何よいきなり。
This is a cockpit for someone in a wheelchair. Kotori, who raised her head after hearing my words, peered at the blueprint again.
先輩が見たのってあのドイツのグライダー製作会社のサイトですか？
Oh!
葵が見つけた。
She had to say it out loud. Kotori definitely heard that.
そうそう。輸入しようとするといろいろ面倒そうだろ。
Kotori definitely heard that.
だったら自分たちで作ってしまえばいいんじゃないかと思ってな。最初からこうしてればよかったの？話がよく見えないんだけど。これは君のための。
If you have this, you can fly. I cut off Amane, turned to Kotori, and spoke enthusiastically. You can fly the glider with your own hands. This was great news. I thought Kotori would be excited. But she just had a blank look on her face. Seeing her expression, I remembered that we hadn't been talking for several days. Then I realized I'd gotten a little too excited and felt embarrassed. But I just couldn't hold myself back.
小鳥、もっと喜びだよ。あんたが自分で操縦できるってことだよ。え、そうなの？
Kotori still didn't seem to understand and just kept staring at the blueprint.
ラダーをペダルじゃなく手で操作できるようになってる。コックピットを改造する必要は出てくるが、このくらい大したことないですよ。葵くんが探してくれてたの？
Yeah. I thought you'd probably want to fly by yourself, so... But I never thought that Amane would draw up a blueprint for it. For a while, Kotori stared blankly, not at the blueprint, but at me.
ありがとう、あまねちゃん。ごめん。
Suddenly, Kotori reversed her wheelchair.
小鳥先輩、ちょっとトイレ。
Saying that, she left the hangar.
あんまり嬉しそうじゃなかったぞ。
I wonder if doing this was a bit sensitive for her.
さあ、そんなことないんじゃない？なかった。嫌われてなかった。葵くんが私のために。よかった。よかった。
I just want to give her a big hug. Okay. Perfect stopping point.
データを上書きしたわ。
Perfect stopping point.
嘘よ。これからよ。
Alright. Day 14 of If My Heart Had Wings. So if you guys want to get caught up All of these videos are on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/EastAsiaSoft. And of course, if you want to buy a physical copy for yourself, just double checking here to make sure that it's still available through Play Asia. Yep, sure is. There are still a few copies left of the limited edition. The regular edition is all sold out, and as this is an East Asia Soft limited release, once these copies are gone, they're gone forever, which means if you want a physical copy of this game, go get it while you can. I'll be back next Sunday to continue my playthrough of If My Heart Had Wings, and in the meantime, I will be back Tuesday to play something else. Have not yet been told what, but yeah, I'll be back Tuesday and to continue this game next Sunday. I've been enjoying this game so far. I'm loving all of the stuff that just happened today. Whole lot of fun. Looking forward to seeing what happens next. On behalf of East Asia Soft, I have been Skull. Have yourselves a great day and a great week, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.